Hi viewers, in today's video we will discuss about CISA course outline. CISA consists of 5 domains. Domain 1 is Information System Auditing Process. In this domain, CISA covered following topics. Plan an audit to determine whether information systems are protected, controlled, and provided value to the organization. Conduct an audit in accordance with IS audit standards and risk-based IS audit strategy. Communicate audit progress, findings, results, and recommendations to stakeholders. Conduct audit follow-up to evaluate whether risk has been sufficiently addressed. Evaluate IT management and monitoring of controls. Utilize data analytics tools to streamline audit processes. Provide consulting services and guidance to the organization in order to improve the quality and control of information systems. Identify opportunities for process improvement in organizations' IT policies and practices. Governance and management of IT. This is the second domain of CISA. In this domain, following topics will be covered. Evaluate the IT strategy for alignment with organization strategy and objectives. Evaluate the effectiveness of IT governance structure and IT organizational structure. Evaluate the organization's management of IT policies and practices. Evaluate the organization's IT policies and practices for compliance with regulatory and legal requirement. Evaluate IT resources and portfolio management for alignment with the organization's strategy and objective. Evaluate the organization's risk management policy and practices. Evaluate IT management and monitoring of controls. Evaluate the monitoring and reporting of IT key performance indicators (KPIs). Evaluate whether IT supply selection and contract management process align with business requirement. Evaluate whether IT services management practices align with business requirements. Conduct periodic review of information systems and enterprise architecture. Evaluate data governance policies and practices. Evaluate the information security program to determine its effectiveness and alignment with the organization's strategy and objectives. Evaluate potential opportunities and threats associated with emerging technologies, regulation, and industrial practices. Domain 3 is information system acquisition, development, and implementation. In this domain, following topics will be covered. Evaluate whether the business case for proposed changes to information system meet business objective. Evaluate the organization's project management policies and practices. Evaluate controls at all stages of the information systems development life cycle. Evaluate the readiness of information systems for implementation and migration into production. Conduct post-implementation review of systems to determine whether project deliverables, controls, and requirements are met. Evaluate change configuration, release, and patch management policies and practices. Domain 4 is Information Systems Operation and Business Resilience. In this domain, following topics will be covered. Evaluate the organization's ability to continue business operation. Evaluate whether IT service management practices align with business requirements. Conduct periodic review of information systems and enterprise architecture. Evaluate IT operation to determine whether they are controlled effectively and continue to support the organization's objective. Evaluate IT maintenance practices to determine whether they are controlled effectively and continue to support the organization's objectives. Evaluate database management practices. Evaluate data governance policies and practices. Evaluate problem and incident management policies and practices. Evaluate change configuration, release, and patch management policies and practices. Evaluate end user computing to determine whether the processes are effectively controlled. The last domain, domain 5, is protection of information assets. In this domain, following topics will be covered. Conduct audit in accordance with IS audit standards and risk-based IS audit strategy. Evaluate problem and incident management policies and practices. Evaluate the organization's information security and privacy policies and practices. Evaluate physical and environmental control to determine whether information assets are adequately safeguarded. Evaluate logically security controls to verify the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Evaluate the data classification practices for alignment with organizations' policies and applicable external requirements. Evaluate policies and practices related to asset lifecycle management. Evaluate the information security program to determine its effectiveness and alignment with the organization's strategy and objective. Perform technical security testing to identify potential threats and vulnerabilities. Evaluate potential opportunities and threats associated with the emerging technologies, regulation, and industry practices. Exam weightage. CISA exam, as mentioned earlier, has five domains, and each domain has different weightage in the exam. For example, information system audit process has 21% weightage. Governance and management of IT has 17%. Information system acquisition, development, and implementation has 12%. Information systems operation and business resilience has 23%. And last one, protection of information assets has the most weightage in the exam, that is 27%. That's all for today's video. Thank you.